Hi everyone, my name is Sophia. I am currently a senior in high school and I just committed to Dickinson College. And I kind of wanted to do like a little video going through my personal story about like just college admissions in general. And kind of how I prepared myself probably starting about a year ago on how to actually like apply for colleges and do everything I needed to do. More stress-free, and give myself a lot more time so I wasn't like cramming first semester of senior year. So this video is obviously intended for more sophomores and juniors on how to really space yourself out in terms of applying to colleges and not being overly stressed. So a little bit about me. I applied to 9 colleges. I got accepted to 5, waitlisted from 1, and denied from 3. The 5 colleges I got accepted to were Dickinson College, Kalamazoo College, Gettysburg College, Lafayette College, and American University. I got waitlisted from Tulane University, but ended up taking my name off the list once I committed to Dickinson so that I could give someone else that spot. And then I got denied from the College of William and Mary, the University of Michigan, and Middlebury College, all of which were reach schools for me, but I just sent in an application as like, hey, what if I get in? As you can probably tell from that list, 6 out of those 9 schools were small liberal arts, 2 of which were big universities, and 1, which was the College of William and Mary, is like a weird in-between where it's kind of big, but it's also kind of small, and it's liberal arts based. So currently, if you are a sophomore in high school, I kind of have 5 big tips for what you should be doing right now. I'm assuming you're later in your sophomore year, which is probably fine. This is still going to apply to you very similarly, and then you really want to continue these in the first semester, so like the first half of your junior year. So number 1 is you need to start thinking about college. So you need to start thinking about where you want to go. Do you want to do an urban school or like middle of nowhere school? Do you want big schools like big universities or small liberal arts, which is what I did? You want to start looking at schools that not only match up with your grades. That's really important so that you have a nice selection of reach schools, safety schools, and target schools, but additionally you want to start looking at schools that have things that you're interested in. That way you are able to get a little bit of a better feel for what you're doing, what you're going to get involved in, all of that stuff. And usually if you know what you want to major in, or at least have a generalized idea of if it's STEM or humanities, then it's a little bit easier to find schools that are stronger in those areas. Next, you are going to want to take classes in those interest areas, specifically advanced classes. So if you are going into STEM, you want to start thinking about taking AP, math, and science courses. If you're going into humanities, start thinking about taking AP, English or history courses, and if your school does not offer AP or offers very limited AP, then take honors courses, and IB you can just like interchange with AP. They're basically the same thing. Next thing that you're really going to want to try to do is get leadership roles in clubs that you're involved in. Colleges love to see leadership and they love to see you super involved, so stay consistent in the clubs that you are in and make sure to try and get those leadership roles. Next, you're going to want to start showing interest in colleges. So sign up for their mailing list, consider doing online or in-person tours depending on how close or far they are, reach out to admissions representatives, just start asking questions about the schools. A lot of schools will have opportunities for not only juniors and seniors, but sophomores as well. So online informational sessions, student Q&As, just reaching out to the school and showing implied interest as soon as you possibly can, because yes, schools do keep tabs on those. And then 5, the biggest thing is you want to really focus on getting good grades, or grades that are going to align with whatever school you are intended on going to. Even if you already have pretty decent grades and you're like, the school that I want to go to would accept me for these grades, even try to boost them up a little bit more, because you don't know if you could get extra merit aid or scholarships because of your grades, and that will really help obviously in making your final college decision. Now, if you're in your junior year, this is where things kind of start to really kick up, and this is probably going to be the year where colleges look at the most, so you really want to make sure that everything you're doing is almost perfect. So obviously you're going to want to start prepping for standardized tests, whether you are taking the ACT or the SAT, or both of them, you are going to want to prep for those. Even if you're a natural test taker, I always suggest prepping for them, just to be a little bit more sure. Most schools have gone test optional, however, but it's always good to submit your scores if they are good. Next is to, again, really show implied interest, but really start going to colleges if you can. It's great to see the campus to either knock certain schools off your list or boost some up. And additionally, again, this really shows colleges that you are interested in them. And then this may be one of the most important things that you really need to do in your junior year, which is focus on your grades and what classes you're taking. Junior year is kind of the most reflective year that colleges look at, besides maybe first semester of senior year. You're really going to want to make sure that your grades are basically the strongest that they have ever been, that you are taking the most amount of AP honors advanced classes that you possibly can, and that you are doing well and excelling in those classes. Another thing that I would really suggest that you do is start making really personal relationships with teachers if you haven't already, because a lot of schools require letters of recommendation. And so the better that the teacher knows you, the more accurately they are going to write a letter of recommendation, and that probably means that their letter of rec is going to look a lot better and sound a lot better to colleges. So really start making those strong connections with your teachers. And that is what I suggest most for first semester of junior year. Now, second semester is where you're actually going to want to start like seriously doing college stuff. So again, continue with tours, work on test scores, but this is where you're actually going to want to begin writing your college essay as well as opening up a Common App account. Just after my junior year concluded, I opened up a Common App account and I began writing my college essay. I would even suggest that you start doing this a little bit earlier if you don't really want to have to worry about that during the summer, but it is 10 times better to get all of that stuff out of the way so that your first semester of senior year you can focus much more on your grades and activities, and then just have to click that send button on the Common App so that everything is already in there and you don't actually have to worry about it again, so you can kind of turn your attention more towards the really important things that when colleges ask for updates, you can give them a really strong transcript and update from your school. So now into the summer from junior to senior year. I would suggest taking time out if you can to just do college tour trips. They're a really great way, again, to limit your list, to add or subtract schools from your list, and additionally to show that implied interest. Another great thing about doing college tours over the summer is you can typically bring your family, and it's really great to get a second or third opinion on where you might actually be going, and just kind of like seeing the campus from someone who, like a parent who's known you your entire life, and get kind of their insight into what they think about it. Now into senior year. By basically the first day of your senior year, you should have your Common App completely filled out. I would again highly suggest you do that either late junior year or in the middle of summer. That way when you are applying to colleges, you really don't have much else to do. The only thing that you are actually probably going to have to end up doing your senior year in terms of additional college things is again continuing that implied interest for extra points and writing individual college essays to different colleges that require them. Now, I cannot stress this enough. Do the additional essays whether they are required or not. The only time when I would really say not to is if you think that you are an awful writer, then maybe don't, but 9 times out of 10, doing additional essays really does give you a boost because it allows the college to really see an additional side of you. And a lot of the time, the additional questions aren't just, oh, why did you choose this school? But they're more personalized and more about cultures or communities you're from, things about you that you wouldn't get to ideally tell a college. Another very important point about essays is to not, absolutely never, write about something on your transcript. Don't write about a club you were in. Don't write about a grade you got. Don't write about a class you took. Write about something that the college is never, ever going to see anywhere on your transcript. Your essay is your opportunity to strengthen your person by being able to give the college a piece of you that, again, they are not going to see. So those are basically my tips for you guys and how you should manage everything. Again, there is kind of a schedule to this where your sophomore year, again, you should be focusing more on extracurriculars, getting your grades up, taking advanced classes, researching. Junior year is more the execution of making sure you get the best grades, taking the most advanced classes, doing well on standardized tests, beginning your common application. Then senior year should really just be submitting the common application, and then additionally checking in with admissions advisors and getting good grades. Finally, the summer in between junior and senior year, you should be touring colleges, you should be completing the common application, you should be starting and most likely finishing most of your essays by then, especially the mandatory essay, and you should 100% do any additional essays, especially if you're a good writer like I am. That always thankfully helps to show a new side of you And essays do give you the opportunity to let the admissions office know something about you that they won't gather from a transcript. So yeah, I wish you all the absolute best of luck. Make sure not to stress yourself out too much about college, although I know people told me that, and then I went ahead and I stressed myself out a lot. So I know that if you are watching this video, you are most likely the type of person that is going to stress themselves out, and that is a-okay because we all do it sometimes. So yeah, I really hope that this video helped, because I know that some videos are a little bit iffy, but this is from a high schooler to a high schooler that thankfully got accepted and some merit aid from one of my absolute top schools. I'm so thrilled to be going to Dickinson College. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope this helped. Make sure to include any comments or questions down below, and I will try to get to them as soon as possible. Thanks, guys.